Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm here.
I'm here too.
Prove it.
La 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 la. I'm here. I'm half here. Half of me is thinking of all the other things I have to do today. So
Think of all the people who might be listening to the show instead of doing things that they have to do.
well, hopefully they're listening to the show while they're doing the things they have to do.
If they're smart,
That would be ideal.
if they're clever.
I'm very sick of this multitasking world that we live in, though. Why can't we just do one thing and be happy doing the one thing? Why are we a failure unless we do like 7 things at once?
But think about farming. Farming is always about doing all kinds of stuff, different things, right? So that's a traditional occupation that also involves multitasking. It's not just modern.
I guess, but I'm just saying we seem to think that there's some merit in doing a lot of things at once when I know myself, I always have to do a lot of things at once and I half-ass every single thing I do. So if I could just concentrate on one thing at a time, I might not do it so poorly. I feel like I'm not giving life my best shot because I have too many things on my plate.
Yes.
Just want the squash, and then after that, then I'll have the chicken.
Yeah.
Just one at a time.
Right. I hear you.
Thanks, Christine.
Let's cry a little bit today if we can, and the world could join us if they need a good cry.
How am I going to pull off a huge wedding tomorrow?
You always do. You make it work. You're very competent.
There's luckily enough beautiful apple blossoms at my house right now
That's
to
a big
compensate
plus.
for all the other
Yeah.
transgressions
You were
that
so
I haven't gotten done yet.
You were worried. You were worried about the yard.
It's still kind of terrible.
No, but you've got grass now, and you have
Yeah.
apple blossoms, and you have probably a few flowers blooming.
Yeah,
maybe.
I have to plant
Daffodils.
all the flower gardens today with all the perennials.
Oh, fun.
It's not really.
No, you
I'm
should
not.
have
I mean,
asked
it's.
me.
I know. I should have. Shoot. Why didn't I think
I
of
guess
that?
I could.
No, you have so much shit to do. Oops, I said the S word.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, good.
It went by quickly.
I didn't really put the T on the end of it.
Yeah.
So
It was just like a
was a
SH.
sh. It was a sh.
Sh is fine. That is not a swear.
not.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe I should swing up.
Can if you want. You can watch all the ridiculous action and
Yeah. I have to get my tires changed first at 12:30.
yeah.
Then I could swing over and give you a little bit
You
of
want
it.
to help me plant the daisies and the.
Yeah, I could do like an hour or
would be
two.
fun.
An hour or two.
Okay, if you want to.
Yeah.
No pressure. I might.
I'm the flower lady.
I know you're the flower lady.
I do it all the time, constantly. In, out. Put this in, take this out. Put the compost down, pick up the sticks. It's a good job. It's good, honest work.
The vet came this morning to do all the horses' spring checkups and shots and stuff, and he always brings his dog Jake with him. And Jake ran into the horse pasture where a giant maple tree has fallen down, and I haven't finished taking it all the way. And he picked up this log. Jake is a German Shepherd. He picked up this log that was about 4 feet long and tried to trot with it toward. We have like one of those little kissing gates, so you have to like turn sideways to go through it. Like it's a walk-through gate. I think they're called kissing gates. You go sideways and then you go sideways in another direction, and it's like a big fat horse can't get through it, but a person can. Anyway, Jake tried to run through that gate with the 4 foot long log, and clunk stopped and was very surprised.
Confusing.
But he's smart, and he eventually figured out how to, he went back and tried several times, and he eventually figured out how to like tilt his head and then tilt his head, and he brought the log right on through.
Gosh,
and
smart.
then he wanted people to throw it for him, which was ridiculous because we couldn't pick it up. It was a log, and I didn't want to throw it because it was going to like clonk him in the head and kill him. Dogs may seem smart in some ways, but like the rest of that wasn't too smart.
It's their enthusiasm sometimes exceeds their practicality.
It's just, it was a very impractical plaything, really.
Yeah, you could have worse problems than that.
And then my horse bit him.
Oh,
you would think
ouch.
A vet's dog would know which horses not to go. I have one horse that hates dogs and turkeys. She hates turkeys and dogs and chases them.
So she got a good bite? I mean,
Oh,
did
yeah.
she, which part of the body does a horse
she got
go
him in
after?
like the butt.
In the
Usually
butt?
their back or their butt. They don't like break the skin, but they give you a good pinch.
Good pinch. That hurts.
It does. Anyhow.
Well, we're here. I sped down. I sped.
Me too. I thought there was going to be some road work because it said there was going to be road work, and then there wasn't any. So that was cool.
It was the first day I could actually speed. Like the roads were not so bumpy.
Yeah. Although they're still bumpy north of where they paved because that actually was a spot that should have been paved. But whatever. I'm not telling anybody else how to do their job.
Yeah, but
I don't really pay that much attention anyhow. So
yeah. I hear it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Should we give away these tickets? Oh, first we should say what we are, who we are.
Okay.
We're humans.
We're humans.
On the planet Earth. That human over there is Christina Stikos, and this human here in my seat is Emily Howe. And we are giving you 11th Hour Radio, which broadcasts live from Royalton Community Radio every Friday at 11 a.m. I just barely started being able to use AM and PM without like a pause to think about it. Like when I say that out loud.
We got confused last week with that.
What did I say, PM?
Well, I quizzed you about 12 o'clock. I said,
okay,
is
wait,
it 12?
PM is post-meridian, is that right? But what's A?
Well, you don't have to know.
No, I'm just wondering what they stand for. What's A meridian?
I don't know. I never thought about AM and PM. Really, post-meridian?
No, is that wrong? It's probably totally wrong.
Someone's going to research that for us. We're going to find out.
Paul?
I can hear
I'm
him.
hoping he's...
I can hear him reaching for the dictionary.
Me too.
Or
wait, what's meridian
or Google.
mean? Is that the line? Is that the timeline?
Meridians. You know, the stripes on your globe. Those are...
I thought that was the equator.
There's longitude and there's latitude. Aren't those lines meridians? Or did I make that up?
I don't know.
It doesn't really matter. I can still go
Sounds
outside.
Like some kind of Italian pottery.
Huh. I wonder what you're thinking of.
Oh, I'm thinking of Marinis.
Merino. Sounds like sheep.
That's sheep. That's not Italian.
Okay. Why are all these words connected with each other?
I don't know.
It's
Anyhow,
sort of confusing.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, 96.5 WFER LP. I'm back to the... Okay. But
right.
Here's the cool thing. What?
You were going to give away tickets.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Let's give away some tickets.
It's tickets to the coolest thing, I think.
Yeah, this is for the station, right?
The 20th annual Roots on the River Festival. It's in Bellows Falls, Vermont. Is it always in Bellows Falls? Must be 20th annual. Roots on the River.
Yes,
that's where the river is. That's where a river is.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
We're going to give away a free pair of tickets. This festival is on Friday, June 17th. And it's Free Vermont Radio's free Summerfest tour. Yeah. Anyway. If you guys go to our Facebook page, is that where we want them to go?
Yes.
If you go to our Facebook page, the first person
who wants to go
needs to just comment or send us a message, right? On
our
Facebook page.
Just say, hey, I'm
and
first.
We'll check it and say and figure out who's the first.
Do you have to like our page to say something?
I don't know.
Probably not.
But you guys need to leave your full name and email
address. No,
because
it always says, whoa. Why don't you invite so-and-so to like your page? You know, they suggest people who you should ask to like your page, but I never do that. I never ask anybody to like my page.
I've done it. I went through and asked everybody.
You did?
Yeah,
once.
So you don't have to worry
once
about
is
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have new people now that I could ask, but I haven't. And I just don't have time for this shazazz sometimes. Anyway, if somebody wants a pair of these free tickets... What happens at this Roots on the River Festival?
Oh, just lots of good music. And it's sweet. Roots. It's my genre. That's my genre.
But you're not playing.
No, but it's good.
It's all good. Bellows Falls is a cool little town. But anyway, whoever wants to go, quick, get on our 11th hour
quickety-quick
radio.
Is it a pair?
Facebook
say it's
page.
A pair?
Yeah, it's a pair of tickets.
You get to go with a friend.
Just tell us you want to go. You need your name and your email address. And whoever's first, we're going to check.
Yeah.
Whoever's first.
Yeah.
Is going to get them.
Indeed.
Okay. Is that all you have to say about that?
I think so. Okay. I think so. Would you like a spelling word?
I guess.
Because this spelling word is going to sort of relate to something
my
later.
topics list here is totally blank, so I could write the spelling word anywhere on this piece of paper.
Excellent. Okay, this is kind of a hard one.
Oh, like they're all so easy usually?
Well, it's true. I don't usually give you easy ones.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Chihuahua.
Oh. Chiween.
Yes.
She.
Yep. This is actually going to lead into a story about the sew and vac from hell.
Is this where I saw you in the listen store and you went to the
sew and vac store?
Did you get any pants at the
Yes, I did.
Listen store?
I just grabbed them off the racket and tried them on, so about half of them fit. But I figured that just means that instead of paying $5 for a pair of pants, they were $10. The ones, you know what I mean? If you average it out. Yes. But it saved me from having to actually try stuff on, which I hate to do. So I just grabbed about 6 pairs of pants.
And you didn't try them on?
No. They might fit you.
If I know I'm going to go to the thrift store, I try to wear easily removable clothes.
Right. I do that
because I hate when I have to untie like my work boots or some like thing.
Yeah, you want to wear clogs or just flip-flops or something or slip-on boots.
It depends what season too. Yeah. I do not like trying anything on the dressing rooms in winter because first of all, those mirrors are too close and I'm all like pasty and I have my winter pudge and I don't want to see my little pink and white belly in the mirror that close up. And then also, if you pull your shirt over your head in the winter to try on another shirt, all your hair statics to your face, and then you just feel really irritable.
Well, there's actually a technique to looking in the mirror without looking at yourself.
I try to just look myself in the eye because I'm like,
no,
that's a body part. I don't mind.
Well, there's that, or just look at the clothes. Like, just say to yourself, I'm not going to look at my body. I'm not going to analyze my body in the mirror. I'm just going to look at the clothes that I just put on and try to assess, like, if they fit. You can do it without looking at yourself, I swear, because I have perfected this.
I saw a study once that certain brands of clothing make their mirrors a little more convex or concave, whichever one it is that makes you elongate it a little bit so that you buy their clothes more because you look so much better in their mirror.
Like certain stores, like you go to Gap and the mirrors are certain, like they're supportive. That would be smart. I think that would be kind of smart.
For
wonder which ones.
Mirrors. I look like a big fat puss ball.
Really?
In the listen store mirrors.
Huh, okay. Well, then it was good probably that I didn't try anything on.
I got on the scale at the vet's office when I took my dog in for his third porcupine-ing this last week. And granted, I had on my Carhartt jacket and a pair of work boots, but I weighed like 120 pounds, and I weighed that when I was 9 months pregnant.
You're so skinny.
No.
Yes, you are.
I've never weighed this much in my life.
Yeah, that's stupid. I haven't weighed myself in like 40 years.
No, I haven't weighed myself in ages, so I was just curious. I got on the big dog scale, which was a problem because it was out in the middle of the waiting room where everyone was staring at me. And then everyone had to witness my shock of, I literally said out loud, "This is what I weighed when I was 9 months pregnant." That was bad.
Well, let's not support the
Do I look like a huge chub ball right now?
Let's not support the idea that you have to be a certain weight.
I'm not supporting it, but
because
it just makes I'm super active. So where is it?
Why don't you complain about something else?
I also have been coming into the house in like fits and starts while I'm working and gobbled huge handfuls of peanut M&Ms. So that maybe
that's fine.
Part of the problem here.
No, I think you're good.
All right. Do you want to hear me spell Chihuahua?
Yeah.
Chihauha.
Oh, that's kind of close. You got... Wait a second. Look, I have it down. Chihauha.
I put them backwards. I put the U and the A's backwards.
Chihuahua.
I was close.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
I knew it was kind of like that.
Yeah, sew and vac store from hell. I'm not sure.
Sorry, why do you
get
a shop vac like me?
I have
at
a
Home
shop
Depot
vac
and just throw away your real lady vacuum.
I have a shop vac. I don't want to use it. It's too dusty.
I know.
It blows dust
mine
into
does
my...
too, but like I just give up. I can't have one of those fussy vacuums, like real vacuums.
I don't know what it is about getting a vacuum fixed that is sort of involves so much drama. Why should it? It just seems my plight.
It's because fate. You know what? They think it's a woman's appliance, they think. And they think you don't. I don't know.
Do you know the place?
I do.
Okay. So we don't actually have to tell people where it is.
Right.
Well, we'll decide at the end of the story if we're going to tell people where this store actually is.
Okay.
But so you walk into this place, and you walk into a room with sewing machines, right? And the first thing that I heard was this screeching noise, sort of like a bald eagle coming down for the kill, to pick up a rodent.
To take your wallet away.
Yes, or a bobcat. You know how they sound.
Coming for all your money!
Well, it was the Chihuahua. That's what was screeching.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know that Chihuahuas could screech, but this animal made the most awful noise. It completely shocked me.
Why? Was it screeching at you?
Oh, it's a doorbell. It's like their doorbell.
Well, you know what? Some people remove their animal's voice box and then they make horrible little sounds like that.
Are you kidding?
No, if people don't like yappy dogs, which I think this is very cruel. Why would you buy a dog that is a yappy dog and then remove its voice box?
Yeah. Well, this one also barked. So I don't think it had that kind of surgery, but I can tell you that it was starting to feel like a fairy tale that's going terribly wrong at this point. So the dog stops barking, and I sort of make friends with it. Sort of. It's looking at me a little funny. But so I can look. There's this little set of stairs that goes up to where there's an old woman sitting, doing something. She's busy.
Old
this is
like
where
us
it's like,
or older?
No, really pretty old. Like pretty like when you get to the end of life and you're looking like it's your last little stretch.
God, it's like an old person's sweatshop.
Yeah, so this was like why it was getting a little bit scary, because she was back there busy with some handiwork, probably weaving dreams or so. I don't know what she was doing back there, but she didn't see me, even though her dog had just practically, attacked me. She didn't even look up.
Maybe she was deaf.
I thought about that, and then I saw there was a bell on the counter.
Okay.
Right?
Not deaf.
So I waited about 5 minutes, because I think it's a little bit rude to hit the bell too prematurely.
Right.
But I did finally,
bell etiquette.
Yeah, it's just me and the dog kind of hanging out there, and nobody noticed that it was there. And in the way back, I can hear this guy using a grinder, right? He's using
there on vacuum cleaners or sewing machines that you need to use like a...
I don't know, but it smelled terrible. It smelled like burning rubber.
Wow.
It was awful. So he's grinding, and she's doing some little evil handiwork, and nobody's noticing me except the dog.
The dog is noticing you. Very much so.
Yeah. Well, so I finally thought I rang the bell, and still they didn't notice. Like, I rang it a little bit tentatively, because, again, I think sometimes it's rude, even though I know they put the bell there because you're supposed to ring it, but it still feels rude.
It feels super rude.
Yeah. So
especially when they're, like, right around.
Yeah. I rang it lightly as you can ring the bell. Rang the bell. But they still didn't notice. And then she goes in the back, and she's having... Bing, 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 bing. He had stopped barking at this point.
No, I mean the bell. You should have just hammered that sucker now. At this point.
I didn't. No. Well, she went in the back, and they're having this in-depth conversation, and another 5 minutes goes by. So I think, maybe I should just go up the stairs and just walk in the back. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Just walk in the back and say hello. So I got up all my courage. Though. Well, I know it was a bad decision, I can tell you right now, but I did it anyway. I went up the stairs, and I went back, and they both turned, and they looked at me. And there was another dog tied up, like another small yappy dog that was tied on a leash, like right in this little windowless shop, right?
Because that one's definitely
And they look up at me, and then all of a sudden the Chihuahua starts going crazy and starts jumping on my leg and bites me.
What? The one that you already kind of made friends with?
Yep. Like, all of a sudden now I'm attacking its owners, just by having confronted them in the back room. And so the Chihuahua goes crazy. The other dog is barking. I don't think you can
have a dog in a public store that bites people.
That's what I thought. But the guy sort of yells the dog's name a couple times, and I'm just slowly backing down, back towards the stairs. I'm just trying to be very relaxed, because I'm not really scared of the dog. I'm just like trying to diffuse the energy.
Yeah.
But the dog's still following me and jumping on my leg and giving it a good bite, like right in my calf.
What the hell?
Yeah, so I finally get back down the stairs, and the guy comes over and he still hasn't acknowledged me, and he says to the dog, he says, "Good boy." He says, "Good boy," and then he says, "I love you so."
What? The
I'm
actual
not kidding you. I am
F.
not kidding you. I'm not. I don't know what dimension I was in or if I'd slipped into an alternate reality.
Had you brought your vacuum in at this point?
Yes, I had abandoned it at the bottom of the stairs, but I went back to it.
I would just have
'Cause
picked
at
up my
this point,
vacuum
it was-
and said, "Good boy, vacuum. I love you so. We're not staying here any longer."
No,
Come on.
At this point, the vacuum. My vacuum was my only link to my reality. It was like an oasis of sanity. So I went back to it immediately, and I touched it, and I picked it up, and and I thought I
You
really
should have dropped it on that dog.
Yeah, well,
Oops.
that might have helped, but I should have just left at that point. But everybody was acting like everything was fine, and she did descend the stairs. And she rummaged around and came up with a little ticket and asked me my name and my phone number and said, "So it doesn't suck?" Actually, it does suck. That's why I brought it in.
What on earth? Okay. Are there any more vacuum stores in the world? Because
three's a charm. This is the second, right?
oh my God.
I don't know. I really don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to get my vacuum.
No, you have fear for your life.
I do. I'm scared. Well, maybe someone will go with me.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, please.
Let's wear a lot of pants. Let's wear poison pants.
What if we could bring dog biscuits, take the other tack?
I bet it doesn't
just
care.
Like put a little trail.
It clearly doesn't
care.
Oh,
and the last thing I just have to tell you, like right after, so I gave her my phone number and my name. And then the little dog, in the meantime, she says, "Oh, he just wants a little attention." Right?
He just wants blood.
Yeah, and so I kind of look down like she's expecting me to pet the dog. So I, stick my hand out, and then the dog runs behind the sewing machines, and all of a sudden I hear this noise like a squeeze toy, like it's hiding behind the sewing machines, and it's chewing this squeeze toy. And she has no idea what the sound is. Like "What's that? What's that?" It was the strangest thing.
What the? Is this like Dementia Land? Here comes the train.
Okay, let's listen to the train.
Fine.
There we go. Yeah, I'd take that, but not back to the sew and vac store.
No.
No, I'm not.
My kid will be on that one in a couple weeks, off on their class trip.
Wow.
To Washington, D.C.
That's exciting. We have to go to a song.
Oh, yeah,
We're a little behind on that.
What else?
So I'm going to feature Kara and Andy's record today.
Oh, good.
Jennings and McComber. And this is their new album called Will You Leave the Light On?
I like that name.
Yeah, it's a beautiful album. It's really just aesthetically, it's beautiful. They did a great job with the package. And the music is fantastic.
They're just nice.
And they're the nicest people that you ever know. So here
they're
we
on
go.
my wedding vendor preferred vendor list.
Oh, very nice. All right, this is called Chesham Station.
Where was king, no cotton gin, before the gasoline motors and our fields grew in, before I was a kid, born with dreams to look in. That's when the train would come in, with her strong heart still beating by the Nebanosik Trail to Chesham Station. When the looms turned by the Harrisville waters, and the weavers were the daytime dance callers, but we lost the last chance to dance with our soul-cokey fathers when the train would come in. with her strong heart still beating. Wool flannel cloth to Chesham Station. We were the brown earthenware town before the Civil War aged us. The clay flats were flooded with a dream that had made us. Until between Sunset Hill and Upland Pottersville, they built the station for the train to come in. With her strong heart still beating, new song in the hills for Chesham Station. Da 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 with her fish scale shingles, overarching roof braces, gable end trusses, and people from faster places. And the trestles stood tall right through where the kingfisher still call. The train would come in with her strong heart still beating. 57 years to Chesham Station, with her strong heart still beating, leaving us all here at Chesham Station.
Thank you. Jennings and McComber.
Yeah.
You are tired a little bit.
So tired.
Yeah, just I think you're weary. I don't think you're actually so
I
tired.
am. Early this morning I said, you know what would be nice, John? I wish at some point on this possibly rainy weekend, we could like sit on the couch together and drink tea and eat cheese and watch a movie like regular people.
Wouldn't
And
that be nice?
I don't even see that in my foreseeable future, like ever being able to happen because
all
we're
summer.
Just too busy.
You have so many weddings this
we have
summer.
weddings every weekend.
You're actually pretty lucky from a financial point of view that your business has gone
except for
doubled.
almost everybody already paid and it's already been spent because like
I know you said that last year.
So many bills. Like when are
when are you going to catch up?
I know that eventually maybe we'll make a little bit of a living with this business.
The fourth year.
But in the beginning, which it still seems to be, there's just so much stuff to make and to pay for. Like we had to have a whole room redone and off our barn this week, and that cost basically, several weddings worth of money.
But they always say it takes 3 years to get a business going.
3 years. I think it takes a little longer in Vermont, and when you're poor, and when you already have debt, and when you have broken cars, and broken washing machines, and broken tractors, and it just...
Yeah, it's different than working by the hour, like I do.
I
put in my hour, I get paid for my hour.
One frustrating thing is our credit card bills, which are astronomical because you have, like... How else can you eat and pay for your broken cars and stuff? Like we don't have enough money coming in to pay for those things. We just don't. So our credit card bills are huge, but in the end, we're going to pay like 20 times more than everything even cost.
It's a racket.
So I think we're going to try to switch our credit card debt on to some bank and get a lower interest rate and just I don't know, starve for a while or something because I just can't keep making it go higher and higher and paying so much extra interest. Like all we do is pay the interest off all the time.
Right, I know.
And I mean,
I know. That's why some people consider this to be a prison planet. For those of us in this situation where we can't get out from under debt and things like that, you might consider that as a metaphor.
It's just very frustrating because I feel like being in debt sort of is symbolic of making really poor choices. Like that's kind of what...
not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
But that's sort of like what my parents' generation feels. Like my mother's disgusted that we have debt. And she's kind of always saying, well, we don't have debt. And I'm like, well, you were able to literally, buy your own home like outright at one point.
Yeah.
And all like what, there's nothing...
Yeah, it's different
now. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it's not a possibility to really not be in debt anymore.
Right.
And I don't feel like I've made poor choices other than a really messy divorce, which left me penniless. So that was kind of a poor choice. And it wasn't a poor choice to get divorced, but the whole situation was definitely a huge financial.
Well, yeah. And I think
gutting.
the legal system and all the bureaucracy that goes around things like house sales, it's always just chipping away at everybody's money.
If all of that had gone legally the way it was supposed to, the house that I owned would have been sold and split, and I could have had something.
There's a lack of common sense in today's bureaucracy that defies.
So it's hard to get out from under that feeling of like shame, like I have debt, I did bad things. It's like I didn't do bad things. I fed my kids and fixed my cars, and I don't know how to like make that different.
I hear you, sister.
I know.
I'm in the same boat.
Anyway,
it's a system.
What are they going to do to? What are they going to do to all of us when all of us are in so much debt? Are we all going to jail together? That would be fine, I guess. At least they'd feed us.
I think the world is going to fall apart before that happens. I think...
I'm not ready for the world to fall apart.
Well, there's never a good time for the world to fall apart, but we're very close to that. And my thing is, like, what if I sold my house, I put all that money in the bank, and then the bank's crashed?
Right.
Like, all my money, would that be just gone?
I don't know.
Because that's what I'm worried about. Actually, that's my next.
Just be like my great grandmother and like roll it up in toilet paper tubes and hide it all over your attic.
Yeah, some people still do that.
I know.
I've been thinking about it. Some people
bury it in little mayonnaise jars all over your yard.
Well, some people actually invest in gold and silver, and some.
Yeah, but you know what? If the world falls apart, why are we going to care about gold and silver?
Well, that's the one thing that seems to not lose its value. I don't know.
I suppose property doesn't lose its value really because you can do things with property.
Unless your property gets taken over by the state.
I guess.
Or the feds.
What do they want it for,
because, well, the whole debt thing, they get you in debt, and then they can sort of rationalize taking it away from you, even though you've spent your whole life paying on that property.
Right, but what are they going to do with it? Like, what do they want it for?
Just so you can't have it, so they can control you, and they can put you in a destitute situation.
What is worth something that they can't control? Plastic surgery. You can't take that off you.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
We're going to repossess your boob job now.
I like the phrase that the best revenge is good living. So we have to...
Just eat a lot. Just eat a lot of delicious food.
That too.
And so you want it? Well, you're going to have to wait a few hours. Sorry, I literally haven't slept. Well, I did sleep a little bit this morning, but I'm tired and I'm crazy. So don't hold me responsible for what I
understand. I myself, I spent all of yesterday hauling buckets of compost, and I went to sleep with a good feeling of exhaustion last night. I think I could make a career of this. I
haven't had a good feeling of exhaustion. I've just had the plain flat out, why is this my life? That kind of exhaustion lately.
Yeah.
And John got home at like 9:30 last night, and then I'm also bummed because no one checks me for ticks ever. I check everyone else for ticks, but there's no one to check me for ticks, and I'm too tired to even check myself for ticks. But at least I probably have them all in every crevice of my body now at this point.
At least you have people around that could check you. I don't. I have to do it
myself.
Myself.
They don't know. Like, it's always dark, or he's always like asleep, and I always check him.
I've had two already.
I pulled one off of John's shoulder blades last night.
Yeah.
And he was only home for like a few minutes before getting into bed, so I don't know how we got it. It's not like they're crawling around the state house all day.
I wonder if they get in your clothes sometimes, and then you put your clothes back on.
Yeah, he did change into like his farm clothes just to go out
I think I made that mistake. I had this
and bring
one.
some more sheep water.
Yeah, I just have this wool sweater. It's cashmere. It has holes in it, but it's my favorite blue sweater.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew that it might have a tick in it because some of these jobs that I take that I agree to do for people who I just think are nice people, but I don't really like their gardens. Sometimes, and they're not people that have a lot of wealth, and so their gardens require more cleanup, and there's more ticks. I mean, I almost said no to some folks just because I knew that there were likely to be more ticks at that job. But I did it anyway, and that's where I think the ticks got in my blue cashmere sweater, which I decided to put on the other day because I just missed wearing it. I should have washed it or something. Oh, well.
My sister Myra put a tick. She was looking at a tick in her microscope, and she put it in alcohol, which is supposed to kill them. And it took over an hour.
They're tough, yeah.
She would move it from one side to another, and it would still be moving.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, they've been created to be quite hardy.
Somebody should genetically modify humans to have some tick in us, and then we will be, like, armored.
No, because the government keeps genetically modifying things like ticks, and then, biological warfare is being waged on the American public.
It's like, why haven't they figured out, like, cats don't get Lyme disease? They have some antibody in their blood, so they don't get it.
Well, yeah. I still
we
wonder.
Should have some cat blood in us.
I wonder if we can get any kind of immunity from getting, as many tick bites as I get. I don't know. I'm just going to think that way. If there's any mind over matter, I'll at least contribute to the mix of what's going on by believing that, because your belief system does contribute to what actually happens.
That's true.
So why not? The world's a fairy tale, as we know, anyway, right? Just go down to the sew and back store.
Witches weaving.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas there's other businesses that you walk out and you're just like, you want to write a recommendation right away.
That's like you and the Jiffy Lube guy.
I did feel that way about Jiffy Lube. I also felt that about the Upper Valley Food Co-op the other day, because I went in there and they have their kitchen is so together. The people that cook there are so talented, and they know exactly how to make good food. And you know how you can get self-serve coffee in a lot of places?
Well, I don't know, because I don't drink coffee, but yes.
Okay. Or you can get hot water and a cup of tea.
Yes.
Well, Upper Valley Food Co-op they had hot chai, just like in India, and it was so good. I was so overjoyed. It made my whole day. And I told you, I think they have hot cider sometimes, but the hot chai self-serve just is going way over the top.
Yeah.
So I walked out and I was like, I'm going to go online. I'm going to write them a recommendation.
And did you?
No, but I will.
Oh.
I will.
I smell mushrooms. Do you? It's my microphone. It actually smells like dirt. Well, that's better than some of the smells that are on this microphone sometimes.
Yeah. Let's say we're ahead of the game today.
I love the smell of dirt.
It's Bob Dylan's birthday. So pop quiz. Where was he born?
Minnesota.
That's good. You get 5 points for that. Another 5 if you can say what city.
Minnesota? I don't know. I don't know what cities are in Minnesota.
Okay. Duluth.
Oh, fine. How did I know that?
I
think because my mom cyber stalks these people.
Okay.
My mom.
Interesting.
I've told you before, right? About how my mom Google Earths like Bruce Springsteen's house and stuff, but she doesn't get that Google Earth isn't in real time, so she like waits for him to come outside.
Oh, I see.
And I'm like,
yeah,
no.
It's going to get to the point where it's real time.
Yeah.
That's
creepy,
it's real time. The military, I'm sure, has real time
yuck.
capabilities, but we don't yet. Yeah, Duluth is like the Wild West. Have you ever been there?
Have I? I don't know.
It's a crazy place. I drove through Duluth.
Isn't there's like a clothing company, isn't there? Like Duluth Trading.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in Duluth.
They make long underwear and
work clothes. I actually looked them up the other
caps,
day.
like hats with ear flaps and stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
A lot of long
rugged
johns.
clothing. Yeah,
and union suits.
Yeah, but the real Duluth is kind of a spooky place. It's got these huge bridges that go for miles over huge rivers, and I don't know. It's just look, when I was there was all this road construction and there were detours, and I remember getting lost. And
Didn't some of the Little House on the Prairie people live there, close to there?
like maybe under a bridge.
No, maybe that was Missouri. Where did they live? Where was the prairie? Little House on the Prairie.
It could have
Where
been
are there prairies anymore?
Indiana, Nebraska. I don't know.
I don't think Little House on the Prairie was in Indiana.
Why not?
I know
Iowa?
Little House in the Big Woods was in Wisconsin.
Okay, so they're probably going further west to get to the prairie.
Right.
So if you keep going west and you go past Minnesota, that's the key. Is once you get out of Minnesota, you are in the prairies, I believe.
What's out there? I mean, I can't. Where?
Is it Nebraska? What do you go into? Let's see.
Where Little House on the Prairie? Where were they?
Dakotas? The Dakotas?
Yeah.
There must be something in between.
I think they were in the Dakotas, maybe.
Okay.
Do you think?
Does that sound right? Yeah.
Are there any prairies anymore?
Yeah. If you drive
But
west,
little ones, though, right?
No, there are some huge ones. There are huge ones. You have to make sure to get gas, gas up the car, because there's not going to be another gas station for
Gas
a
up
while.
the covered wagon. 'Cause
Yeah.
Mom and Pa are gonna.
I like the prairie.
I like prairie dogs.
They're good too. You can see those for real.
I can't remember what zoo it is, but they have all these little plexiglass tunnels that kids can go in, and you can pop up
Like
in
an ant farm.
Yeah, you can pop up in the prairie dog
Yeah.
enclosure and be like one with the prairie dogs. Well, they pop out of their hole like just inches from your little plastic bubble. You can pop your head out of the hole.
Oh, you're with them?
You're with
in
them.
the same environment?
Yeah.
It's
I
kind
mean,
of a
you're
plastic.
in a bubble, but you travel a little tunnel system. It might be at the Roger Williams Park Zoo in Rhode Island, I believe. Wow. They have this amazing, like an ant farm, tunnels all under the prairie dog. The prairie dog's enclosure is like up at like eye level for everybody standing outside, but then you go in all these culvert tunnels and you could see all over their pen is these little bubbles, so you can pop your head up and be right with them.
Do they have some air? Do they have windows for them? Sounds a little bit like...
No, it's outside. It's like
it's
a field, like in a fence kind of. But it's like a raised up field.
Wow, gonna have to look that up. It's a little strange to try to visualize that.
I'm just, it's like a raised bed. Imagine if like a whole little pasture was a raised bed.
It's
with
like
little glass walls or whatever, and then you can go under the raised bed and pop up inside it.
Yeah, kind of like McDonald's.
Yes,
right.
It's like half prairie dog, half playground. For kids. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
But it's cool. I liked it because you could feel like a prairie dog. What? Is it time for more music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again.
Here come the police.
All right. So we're going to go back to Jennings and McComber, and this song is called... Let's see.
They're looking at my car. Why are they looking at my car? No,
I don't know. They can't steal your car here at the law school.
That's the police. I don't think they're going to steal my car.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, here's Effie's song.
Okay.
Skin as soft as a wild doom rose petal, round, rosy, innocent and free. The Celtic queen's wisdom in your old soul lies. Without you, what would this new world town ever be? A salty rose and a periwinkle baby, a little sister of a wild thing. Your palace is your mom's and Caitlin's bakery, but your daddy may not ever want to give you away. Wild rose and lupin grow beneath your feet. Queen of Cape Breton, the young you still may be, with eyes as blue and deep as the English sea. Sweet, sweet Effie, thank you for smiling at me. May you ever greet the weary traveler. May the sea be never far away. May you ever be treasured, loved, and cared for. May your painted boats come back loaded every day. Wild rose and lupin grow beneath your feet. Queen of Cape Breton, though young you still may be, with eyes as blue and deep as the English sea. Sweet, sweet Effie, thank you for smiling at me.
I love me some mandolin, I tell ya.
Yeah, that was Andy Lake and Kara Lake, who go by the name of Jennings and McComber.
How come? What does that mean?
Those are family names
Oh.
that they wanted to.
Incorporate.
Yeah, they have there's a sort of a family history theme going through some of their music.
That's nice. Yeah, I vaguely
it's very
wondered
nice.
why their band was called that.
Yeah, it confused me at first, but I got it straightened out pretty fast.
Nice.
So,
They look so young to me. And I think they have like grown-up kids, don't they?
they do.
It's
6 kids,
really
yeah.
weird. Because I thought they were way younger than I was. And I think we're probably around the same age.
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah.
You know what's weird, though? That when the opposite happens, when you see like a very old person someplace, and then a few minutes later, you're like, oh, I went to high school with that person.
Yeah, I got a flyer about a high school reunion, and
I'm trying to picture you like at
I don't
Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
yeah, I did last time. I tried to go to one, and I honestly I walked into the bar because they have different events in different venues. So I walk into the bar, I did not recognize one person, and there's 2 reasons for that. One is that I had been so long since I connected with these people that I didn't recognize them, like you're saying, and the other is that it was the class of '74, which I skipped a year. So at the end, I skipped a year and got out of high school early. And so I graduated with a class of people that I didn't really know very well. So I'm actually class of 75.
Very weird. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
You're like a little brainiac child?
Well, I just hated school so much that I took summer school to get out as fast as I could. I just wanted to get out and leave town and just never come back, which, I mean, I have been back, but I
was kind of the opposite. I mean, I hated high school. High school was a miserable time. But when I was littler in junior high, that really bent me out of shape because, well, I hadn't gone to school very long. So it was my very first kind of like friend group because I'd been homeschooled up until junior high. And then it was such a tiny class that everyone felt like siblings. And then since Tunbridge is a choice town, everyone's going to go to different high schools and you're never going to see them again. And that felt awful. Like I wanted it to go on forever back then because everybody was they kind of got along. I don't know. It was great. It was a good era when I was like in the 7th and 8th grade or 8th grade or whenever. It was just.
That's super.
It was a tiny class of very well bonded people in a little town where you just kind of all came from the same sort of situation and.
Yeah. My friend Ben, who was in the studio this week, you see pictures of him on Facebook. He's actually somebody that I went to like 1 year of junior high school with. That's how we know each other.
That's cool.
And I didn't have much contact with him. I might have seen him like first.
You went to bigger schools.
Bigger. I guess they were bigger than Tunbridge.
Yeah,
but
I had
not
like 12 kids in my class. So.
Well, my junior high was small. It was like 80 kids.
That's not.
They'll all
small.
That doesn't. Okay, but that spanned a few grades.
All right, but it still doesn't feel.
Yeah, but that. Anyway, so Ben, I was just thinking this morning how I have that feeling of familiarity with him, which is special because we knew each other when we were so young.
There's something about those childhood friendships, like even years later.
There is just this feeling to it. It's not.
It's a safety thing.
Yeah, it's so strange because it might not be that you have any reason to have a relationship with that person, and yet you feel this kind of bond with them because it goes back so far.
Yep,
it's very odd. I don't have contact with too many people that I knew as a kid. I just don't. My life hasn't really gone that way.
Like, those Facebook things that are like, well, who's your oldest, longest friend? Like, they're trying to think of somebody you knew since you were a little toddler or something. And
right.
I didn't know any kids until I was like 13 or 14. So.
Your sisters were kind of your group for a while, which is cool. That's fun. That's fun. Let's see. I'm just going to keep my eye over there on the clock. I'm a little spacey just like you are.
I'm so spacey.
I
got to go to the bank still, and then I got to fly home to see what has happened there since I've been gone.
Yeah. What has happened?
I'm very nervous
kind of things
because
have happened?
The wedding couple put their dessert bar out already last night, and I was a little nervous because, we're in the middle of the woods, and we have so many wild creatures.
And
they're right
barn.
next to
so it's
porcupine.
In the barn?
Yeah. They're
so they
right
left
next
the
to like
brownies.
Raccoon, porcupine, skunk, like highway back there.
What are they covered with? Are they in Tupperware?
It's like mostly a candy bar. So there's like M&Ms and candy
Is it covered?
Bars. No, not really.
They're
all in like glass jars and bowls and things and
Okay.
pedestals. And I mean, the doors are shut, but they're just flimsy doors that something could easily just push or.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't too warm, so the M&Ms didn't melt.
Nobody's worried about the temperature. I just kept waking up in the night thinking like, okay, these guys are meticulous. They've had grandmothers up there ironing every crease out of every piece of linen all day long, and everything is, the little succulents on everyone's table are being like mathematically aligned, and I just woke up thinking, what if like a bear opened up the door and just trashed that place? I don't even know what I would do.
It's possible. It's the dangers of living in the wilds of Tunbridge.
I know.
But that's what brings so much charm to your estate.
Yes.
Your
bear
illustrious.
Attacks. Very charming.
Yes, the threat of bear attacks, it just brings a certain edginess to the ambiance. Yeah, whereas on my hill, it's like a wild pig might come in,
True.
or I don't know what else might happen up there.
I'd almost rather a bear than a pig. Pigs are nasty and they're smart.
Yeah, and they're surprising. I think you'd be more surprised to see a pig in your yard than you'd be to see a bear.
Definitely,
honestly,
because pigs aren't supposed to be wandering around your yard.
Yeah,
That's
and they're
not their-
bigger than you expect them to be.
Yeah, they're
They're
really
quite
big.
large.
Some pigs are like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one of those giant pigs that's just scary big? And you're,
Where would I have seen one?
I don't know, at the fair or something. We had friends growing up who had a big one that they could like ride
Like
on.
a champion pig?
I don't know if they're
that has
champion.
a-
They're just huge.
Has
It's
a
like
blue ribbon? That kind of pig?
I don't know what kind of pig gets a blue ribbon. I think all kinds of pigs can get a blue ribbon, but you just those monster pigs. Sometimes you're just driving by pigs, and you see one that's so big that
No, I don't
you can't
tend to.
comprehend
I don't
how
tend.
a pig got that big.
I don't really linger in the pig barns.
I'm not either because they smell bad. I'm just saying you drive along the road. Sometimes you see pigs, and sometimes they're really enormous.
Okay, but they're so far away. They just don't look as big. You have to be up close to them, and I just won't tend to be in
Some of
places
them
where
are,
big
like,
pigs are
as
hanging
big
around.
as a horse, but with short little legs, like that big.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what? I'm just let's make this show go off air now. Because I got stuff to do, and I guess you're coming with me probably.
Yeah, okay. We have one last track from Jennings and McComber, and it is called "Book on Fire." And
if you guys also want free tickets to this Roots on the River Festival,
somebody might have it already.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying in case the first person to
who wants
get on
it.
our Facebook page saying they want it with their full name and email address is going to get these tickets. June 7th in Bellows Falls. Thank you to our sponsors and underwriters. Okay, play the last track.
All right.
We'll see you guys next Friday if we live through this week.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Take care.
Didn't have to take me down and hold me in your hands. You didn't have to see the dust and take a dreamer's chance. You didn't have to hope for more than smoke and shifting sand. You didn't have to take me down and hold me in your hand. Have to open me, you didn't have to look inside. You didn't have to trace my words, your fingers making lines. Through your touch, I can see the stars in your mind. You didn't have to open me, you didn't have to look inside. That is burning. I am a book on fire. I am a book on fire. love forever. Now I am a book that is burning. I am a book on fire. I am a book on You didn't have to take me down and hold me in your hands. You didn't have to see the dust and take a dreamer's chance. You didn't have to hope for more than smoke and shifting sand. You didn't have to take me down and hold